Hello and welcome to my show again. I'm going to talk about racism for profit. If there was ever an episode where I was going to offend anyone, this one's going to be it. So that is my disclaimer. If you are easily offended, it is best that you don't listen to this because I'm not politically correct. Alright, so the big divide, let's be honest, particularly with the Black American community. Your leadership lies to you and tells you, hey, we got your back and all of this good stuff, and they listen to it. But what also harms black people is that they tend to say that they are spiritual, and when all actuality, they're doing the opposite of what the Bible tells them to do on that front. And it's also time with what just happened with the shutdown for blacks to start questioning their leadership. Again, blacks are affected the most by things like this. It's time for black people to start having a plan B, C, and D to back them up in case plan A, which is welfare, doesn't work. And it's not to say that just blacks use welfare, but it's time for black people to start questioning the leadership within the community. Okay, blacks say they're spiritual. They claim to go to church and love pastors and la la la, fatherlessness and single mother homes. The reason I put these scriptures up is because I want to prove that the Bible that people say they read, they don't really believe in it. Lots of people, regardless of race, believe that when it comes to the Bible and the use of racism, that there is an Old and New Testament differential, and there's not, with a lot of issues. Some things in the Old Testament don't carry to the New Testament, and vice versa, but the issue of merit and self-reliance does. And here I'll let you pause if you like to read these scriptures. This is the proof that everyone is meant to work and not take government handouts. Again, here are more scriptures and more proof that you were meant to work for what you have in life and not to be given things. So you can feel free to also pause and read those scriptures if you'd like. Alright, Al Sharpton. You guys heard about the controversy with the 4 pastors recently in Harlem who are going after him, people who he have been lined up with for years. But you have to start questioning why this is happening now. But I'll let you read the quotes he said in his own words. And I'll give you guys a moment of silence while you quickly read these quotes. He does believe in reparations. So you have to kind of question that because, again, some people's ancestors did not own slaves, so you have to question that why. And if white liberals want to claim that he indeed likes them and he has an MSNBC show, then why say what he said, particularly in the first quote? Jesse the Jester Jackson. Yeah, there's the mugshot that should tell it all. Rainbow Coalition should have told it all. If not, I mean, the fact that his son was just arrested this year and they had to auction off some of his things. The man was not a good father himself, but I want to read the quote that he said that I think is important. And I quote, "There's nothing more painful to me than to walk down the street and hear footsteps and start thinking about robbery. Then look around and see somebody white and feel relieved. That should bother the black community. I'm black and it bothers me, and I have never even followed him. Why? Simply because he's from the civil rights era, and your own civil rights leader is sitting right here in this quote telling you that he's afraid of you. Oh, I'll help you and I'll pretend to do this and that for you while I make my money, but I'm secretly afraid of you." Okay, I'll let you guys also read these quotes so you'll figure out who said what. Okay, you guys can go back and pause if you'd like when it comes to those quotes, but the first one is from Frederick Douglass and the second one from Booker T. Washington. And we know within the Black American community in particular, you cannot have an honest conversation about these two gentlemen without merit and self-reliance, particularly Booker T. Washington. People like to throw Frederick Douglass around to prove that, oh, this man was born into slavery and he died a businessman and he died with dignity. But there are two things about this that the Black American community does not discuss. First, that he actually, his second wife is a white woman, was a abolitionist. Look this up, it's on Wikipedia. That's the first thing. The second thing is that he wrote a letter to his former slave owner telling him that he forgave him for all that had happened. Harriet Tubman, I have her here simply because Russell Simmons has done something that I think is awful, and I made a post about that in which he manipulates her legacy for his own purpose. But my point is, with these three pictures, these people have in common that they lived in a time of slavery. They were slaves, but they died with dignity. When we're looking for leadership in the Black community, we need to look backwards instead of forward, because the people we currently have, they're not cutting the mustard. All right, so guys, give me your feedback, opinion. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for listening to this broadcast, and I would love to get opinions and feedbacks. Again, this is my first month ever, so I'm kind of nervous, and I am still tweaking how I say things. Again, how I'm going to do this from moving forward to November. So thank you, and God bless.